Hi guys, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. My name's Frankie and I love to yap about books. I wanted to create a little corner of the internet where I could meet some book besties, yap about books and just have a silly, girly, fun time. So I thought I would start a booktube, and I've always loved YouTube. I've always wanted to start a channel, never really had the confidence, but I just thought, why the hell not? For my first video I wanted to go through my god tier romantasy books that I've been loving lately, and just so that you can see what type of books that I love and read, and hopefully you can add some books to your TBR, or we can just talk about these books that we both love together. Starting off with the House of Devils series by Kayla Edwards. Now I was introduced to these back in April and these have been living in my head rent-free ever since. I will never not recommend this series to anyone. So if you haven't read this, you need to go and read it. It's urban romantasy. There's monsters, all sorts of different creatures, vampires, witches, humans, and there's dark slayers, and they can read people's auras. It's really interesting and really bingeable series. But these books are literally god tier to me. So the first and second book I rated 5 stars. The third book is a 6-star read for me. And the third book, which has only really recently come out, is 5 stars as well. So it's safe to say that I'm obsessed with this series. This follows our female main character Loren. She is a human living in a world of different magical creatures, and she's got a bounty on her head that people want to unalive her. And one of those people that get tasked to unalive her is Darien Castle, which is one of our Dark Slayers. He's basically the leader of the Dark Slayers, and he wonders why that people want to unalive this human, because when he sees her and reads her aura, she is pure. It's basically white, rainbow coloured, and he's just like, why do people want to unalive this innocent human? So he basically becomes her bodyguard to protect her from these people, and they go on this big journey together. There's multiple POVs and it's just so fun. Next is the Gods and Monsters series by Amber V. Nicole. I love this series. I really enjoyed the first one especially. I actually think this might be my favourite out of the series, which I think is quite controversial. I'm not really sure. A lot of people prefer the other two books. It is urban fantasy as well, which I'm definitely learning that I'm an urban fantasy girly. Which is also criminal that I haven't read Crescent City yet, but we won't talk about that. So this follows our female main character Diana. She's 1,000 years old and she works for someone very evil and is basically has to do all of his dirty work, and he wants her to hunt down this old relic, which is the Book of Azrael, and she ends up having to team up with Sam Kell, the male main character, to find this book. And as they get to know each other, they kind of realise that they're both not so bad. The world building is really interesting, but it was mainly the characters that really drew me in with this, and the books do get even better as you read on. But there was just something about this first book that I just couldn't stop thinking about, and I just loved their chemistry and connection in this when they were getting to know each other. The banter, I was laughing out loud, and I don't really laugh out loud with books, but this made me giggle. So if you haven't read this, you should definitely read it. Next is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Now, I feel like this is a controversial series. You either love it or you hate it. And yeah, I absolutely loved this. I recommend this to everyone. I mean, it's maybe not like the perfect literature that you'll ever read, but it's a fun time. This is a vibes series, definitely. I would say that the plot is still quite complex because there's a lot of plot twists in this that I did not expect and did not see coming. It just develops even more the longer you read on for in each book. Each book just gets better, basically what I'm trying to say. I love Castile. That man. Yeah, I love him. He's definitely on the book boyfriends list as well. But I also do love the female main character in this, her growth from the first book. But I do actually have a debate on whether I prefer the first or the second book. I'm really not sure. I love the plot in the first book. There's a lot of mystery, but the second book, we just get more of Castile and Poppy in this, and yeah, there's certain scenes in here that I had a really good time with, so I can't really say too much because I don't want to give spoilers for this series. But if you love anything to do with like gods and prophecies, vampires. I mean, they're like fae vampires, and also werewolves. I love a book with a shifter werewolf. So yeah, you will probably love this series. I mean, would it really be a god tier video without mentioning the Throne of Glass series? I feel like this is on everyone's god tier list, and there's a good reason for that. I think about this every day. I don't want to talk about it too much because I feel like everyone on the internet already knows about this series, but my favourite book in the series, Empire of Storms. There's something about when you get to Era of Fire that just really ramps up the series. It's just like, it has a whole different feel to it, and I just want to be back in that world. I want to reread this. This was torture, but also so much fun, and I just have never felt this way about a series in my life, and I don't know if I ever will, but I am always searching for that feeling now. I also can't not mention the Empyrean series. I mean, I think everyone and their nan has read the series again, so I won't go into too much detail. So I've heard a lot of people say that the first book is their favourite, and don't get me wrong, this was the closest thing that I felt to Throne of Glass. And I do love this book, but I don't know. I feel like I need to do a reread to really decide, but at the moment, Onyx Storm is my favourite. There's just something about Xaden in this, like the different versions of him. I won't put any spoilers in this, so that's all I'll say on that. And just their relationship. Yeah, okay, book 2, I'm one of those people that was like, not the biggest fan. I still love this, and the ending was absolutely crazy, and I do still think about that ending. But them two in this, yeah, I feel like there just doesn't need to be any more said. Like Xaden, that's all I have to say. I feel like I'm just gonna accumulate loads of books in this corner, so we're just gonna ignore that and my empty shelves. But next, Daughter of No Worlds. Yeah, this is the War of Lost Hearts trilogy by Carissa Broadbent. If you love The Serpent and the Wings of Night and that duology and that world, and you haven't read this, you need to go and read it, because I actually prefer this series so much more, and I just feel like there needs to be way more hype around this. Unless I'm just not coming across those videos online, I don't know, but yeah, we need to hype this up. This first book I rated 4.5 stars. I rated the second book 5 stars. Honestly, was kind of giving god tier like 6 star, but I'm keeping it at 5 stars, and the last book I rated 5 stars as well. But the second book just leveled up the whole series. But this follows our female main character, Tasana. She is a slave, and something ends up happening. She ends up escaping, and she wants to go and seek aid from this organisation that is supposed to be neutral in all the wars, but they also have power to help slaves, and she's hoping that these people will help her. When she gets there, she is then told that she has to train with a grumpy Maxentarius, which is our male main character. I love these two together. If you want a different type of romance, like they're basically reluctant allies to friends to lovers, and it's just really beautiful and slow, and they build such a deep connection that I've never felt this way about two characters before. You can just feel the love on the page that these two have for each other. But yeah, he's very reluctant to train her at first because he doesn't really want anything to do with the organisation. It's not all as it seems. There's a war going on in the background, but the plot twists in these books, they just kept plot twisting. I could never guess where this series was going, honestly, and the magic in this was really intriguing as well. Definitely kind of like this elemental magic vibe going on, but it just felt really fresh and really unique and different, and it is definitely more plot related rather than romance. You still get like the most perfect romance. I do see why people relate this to Throne of Glass because that is more plot forward, but that's the only thing I'd really sort of say it is similar in a way, because they both stand equally on their own and are both amazing series. Then I just thought I would go through really quickly different romantasy books that I've read this year, just like a fast-paced version. So we've talked about the main ones. Obviously ACOTAR is absolutely amazing, but I feel like everyone has talked about that now, and yeah, ACOTAR is amazing. It's a god tier series. I'll leave it at that. But my most recent read, Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. This book, if you love The Cruel Prince and Agatha, like it's basically like them having a baby. That's the only way I can sort of describe it, because it's cruel fae. Are you joking? It was so good, so much fun. It basically follows our female main character, Kenna. She is a human. Basically, she's poor in her village. She only has her best friend to rely on because they're both orphans now. Every 6 years, there's like 5 girls that get picked in her village to cross over to the Fae border. They see the Fae as like these gods. So basically, they send these girls over for a better life. That's what they presume, to marry like these rich fae princes and lords, and she's never believed in any of that. So by helping her friend get across to the Faelands, a lot of things happen. I won't spoil anything, but she ends up in the Faelands and everything is not how she thought it would be. It's just so fun. The Fae have elemental magic. It was really interesting. There's like fire, earth, void, illusion, light. If you love cruel Fae, you're gonna love this. Oh yeah, I also rated this Servant of Earth 5 stars. Next is Silver Elite by Danny Francis. This has been everywhere on TikTok, so no surprise here that I absolutely loved it. One thing about me, I am a chronic 5-star rater. I rated this 4.75 stars. This was so much fun. This is a vibes read. It's described as dystopian, but I know there's a lot of uproar about whether it's dystopian, romantasy. Honestly, I'm pretty sure it's classed as romantasy on Goodreads, so we'll just go with that. It makes me want to pick up more dystopian books now. This was so fun. I loved the female main character in this, and I loved Cross Redden, the male main character. The way they first met, it's like trainer trainee, but he's the commander, she is in his squad. So do with that what you will. Next is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. There's a reason these books are popular on TikTok. There really is. I rated this 4.5 stars, I believe. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should give it 4.75 stars though, the same as Silver Elite, because it was a vibe reads again. There's monsters in this. So it follows our female main character. She is the eldest, but her younger sister is chosen to be the Sparrow, and the Sparrow's job is to be sent to another kingdom to be married off for like a peace treaty. So her sister has been training for that her whole life, where she hasn't. She's kind of deemed as the spare, not really paid much attention to. When the prince comes along and is like, I want you instead, she then has to go to his land, and it's very treacherous with lots of monsters. Really intriguing plot, and the ending, oh my god, I cannot wait for book 2. I need it right now. Next is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I couldn't make this video without mentioning Rachel Gillig. She is the queen of gothic romantasy. I am obsessed with her. I'm obsessed with her writing. Everything I give her is basically 5 stars at this point. Actually, One Dark Window, even though I think I rated it 5 stars, I think I will bump that down. Maybe like 4.5. I actually preferred Two Twisted Crowns a lot more. I really enjoyed Elm in that book and his like story and relationship. I actually can't remember what her name is. We'll move on from that. But The Night and the Moth, the gargoyle. Who would not love this book? The gargoyle is everything. This actually made me quite emotional as well. I will rave about this book until the day that I die. If you haven't read this, this is perfect for spooky season. Like, what are you doing? You need to jump on the hype. But this follows our female main character. She is basically, she's called the, I actually can't remember what they're called. Diviner, that's it. I literally didn't even read this book that long ago. Also, one thing to know about me, my memory is not the best. She is a diviner, and she is one of, I believe it's like 7 or 8 girls. They live in this cathedral. It's very gothic, and she drowns to see visions for people, and it's not a nice experience. She doesn't want to be doing that her whole life. She's kind of waiting for her period. I think they spend 10 years like in this service, and then she can leave. The young king and his knights come, and she meets a young knight oh my god, why can't I speak? She meets a young knight named Rory. I think his name's like Rhodasius. Their interactions are so fun. It's definitely a little bit spicier. So One Dark Window is YA, this is definitely more adult, and I loved that. It wasn't too much, it wasn't too little, it was literally the perfect amount of like yearning and spice. I just love these two characters, and he wears eyeliner. I didn't know I was into that, and now I know, so that's great. The king comes with his knights, they start interacting, they kind of sort of dare each other on to do things. She gets an idea of what life is like on the outside, and her diviners start going missing. She wants his help to find out why they're going missing and what is going on, and they go on this journey. It's really magical, really whimsical, and you can't help but just be sucked into this world. Next book is The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. Now this is Viking Romantasy, and this is the book that introduced me to Viking Romantasy. This follows our female main character. She is on the run from these assassins. She ends up sneaking into the Blood Axe crew like carriage. They end up finding her. They make some kind of deal, reluctant alliance with the leader to help her travel to where she wants to go, and on that way things start to be revealed. She gets to know her companions. They kind of realise that she might not be all as they think she is. It's so good. There's monsters in this, but the second book, God tier, Kingdom of Claw, God tier book. It really leveled up. You get different people's POVs in that as well. There was also another love interest story going on, which I'm completely obsessed with. So I loved both male main characters. They are so fun. I then wanted to talk about some Kindle reads that I've read recently, and I'm getting my Goodreads up so that I don't forget what I've rated them, because I read a lot on my Kindle recently. Starting with The Wolf King and the second book, The Night Prince. These books are hyped for a reason. If there's anything you need to know about me, is that I'm gonna jump on that hype and probably absolutely love that book. So yeah, The Wolf King I rated 4 stars, The Night Prince I rated 5 stars, specifically just for like the last 25% of that book. This is vibes, this is giggly fun time, this is wolf shifters. I feel like that's all I need to say, because this would be perfect for this time of year as well. Moving on to The Witch's Pet, also one of my most recent reads. I rated this 4.5 stars. This, if you are a fan of Dorian in Throne of Glass, you will love this MMC. He is flirty and he is emotionally intelligent. I haven't really read an MMC where they're not grumpy and brooding all the time. Like, he knows himself. So if you're looking for a book for spooky season, this is perfect. She is a human and he's a witch, and they basically are both forced into this marriage to make an alliance between their people. Their kingdoms are split between this wall. It repels witches' magic, so they can't actually go over there and invade them. So she's sent to his lands. She's supposed to live with the enemy. They start to form some kind of reluctant alliance, friendship in a way. She is basically his captive. She is strong and she doesn't give in. I feel like sometimes when the female main characters in books get like captured, they fall quite quickly, but she knows what's happening is wrong, and she's basically thinking everything that I would in those situations, which was just so fun. If you're on a fun, giggly, spooky fun time, and also it was gothic. It was giving Rachel Gillig, whimsical. There was like potions and magic, and yeah, I'm really excited. I will be raving about this book forever. Next is Diabound by Sable Sorensen. Yeah, I feel like I don't even need to talk about this book that much because a lot of people have read this, but this is wolves. So it's not wolf shifters. They basically bond with wolves. So fun. This made me feel the same feelings like when I was reading Throne of Glass, Fourth Wing. Like, you just knew going into, well, I just knew going into this book that it was gonna be 5 stars. It was that 5-star feeling. Yeah, it's definitely a slow burn, and the whole time you're thinking, what is gonna happen here? But I was so here for it though. All I'm gonna say is he licks her neck after giving her a tattoo. yeah, they had me there. Like, I was sold. It was a great time. Next is On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin, I believe. If you love dragons and like dragon shifters, set in an academy, it follows our female main character. She basically lands on a pile of bodies and wakes up in this new world with still some memory of her old world. And she is forced into this academy and this marriage to Blake, our male main character, who is a vampire, and she is basically accused of being a dragon rider. This is definitely a bully romance, so if you're a fan of Zodiac, you'll probably love this. It was definitely bully, but I love that. I love mean men, and the second book gets even better. I think I rated the first book 4 stars. Oh, I rated the second book 4 stars as well. Maybe I should make that like 4.25 because I think I did like that more. And there was also a character in book 2 that was giving Rhysand vibes. I was so here for that. I feel like I've been yapping forever and I don't even know if any of this made sense, but I really enjoyed filming this first video. I hope this gave you some good book recommendations or some to add on your TBR. I hope you liked it and want to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video.